some sweet, sweet Secrets of Hammerfast. We're going to do it a little bit offline, as it were. Online, offline? Yeah, so we're just rocking it. So, welcome everybody. I'm Burlingsbeard. You know me, Ken Breeze. We are doing a pre recorded session for our most fervent of fans who love us neighing. We neigh here. Nay. So, it just feels good to be ready to play D&D with you guys. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to turn it over to you, Finley. Can you tell us about your character, please?
Yes, my name is Finley. I'm going to be playing Darok, the Furbolg Druid. If you don't know about Furbolgs, they are raised from Bolos. Darok is about 7.5 feet tall, and he is descended from giants, and he loves little critters.
Love it. I love it. And what does he look like?
He's like, sort of like a, well, like I said, he's very large. He has like sort of mossy toned skin, red hair, red beard, and he wears like forest toned clothing and carries a big oak staff.
Yes. Yes, love it. And Kelsey, what can you tell us about Callie?
Hey, I'm playing Callie. She is a halfling rogue. She has red hair in braids and wears kind of leather ratty street armor that she's cobbled together just by getting scraps here and there. Um, she has a teacup pig named Rimpleton. They've been friends for a while, and that's kind of her in a nutshell. She's been learning some magic tricks lately,
That's
and
right.
that's where we last left her.
That's right. She totally has been learning magic tricks. And so, you guys, as far as I can tell, have been hanging out in Hammerfast. And one of you is Anastasia playing Kerjak. What can you tell us about
Yes.
Kerjak, Anastasia?
Kerjak is an orc from the tribe of the Bloodspear Orcs up in the mountains. He his one dream is to become a knight based on stories he heard from captured prisoners, one of whom ended up being a bard. He loves fairy tales and as such has a greater grasp of history than one would assume. He also speaks horribly broken Common
Yes, he
and
does.
sounds really dumb because of it.
But he's got a code of honor. He doesn't use his wicked greatsword on anyone out of anger, it seems like.
He tries not to do that, yes. He usually waits until somebody else draws first blood and then he draws the rest.
Right, right. Awesome. And Anthony, what can you tell us about Alaron?
Alron is a half elf. He's from the neighboring villages. He was raised in a commune by his elven brethren. He's always a little treated differently because of his human blood as well.
Yes.
But he's well educated and he's martial artist in his own right. And he's just traveling around the world now trying to find his place.
That's right. You guys have traveled to Hammerfast to find it looks like, sorry, you guys traveled to Hammerfast to find sort of the legal standing to have a deed notarized and authenticated by the dwarves of Hammerfast. As we all know, Hammerfast used to be a necropolis for dwarves until it was destroyed by Bloodspear orcs and taken in a siege. But because Hammerfast was a place for necropoli, for people being buried, the orcs thought that there was going to be a bunch of treasure there, but there wasn't. There was just death for them. So they abandoned it, and then the dwarves came and took it back and turned it into a large city that they now have fortified, the city of Hammerfast. Oddly enough, both the living and the dead dwell in Hammerfast. Currently, our group has had a very interesting first day in Hammerfast. They've traveled to a few different places, but they are now located at the stables, which you might be able to see on our screen. And so the group is now at the stables. And the last time we were playing, some shit was about to go down, unfortunately, or fortunately, as the case may be. And so I just want to set the scene. if you guys will remember, Hammerfast is now under the cover of night. The sun dipped under the horizon far to your west very recently. You guys have also realized that the stable that you're in is closed for the night. It looks like there aren't any other animals being brought in. Additionally, at the end of last session, you guys had convinced a possibly intelligent horse, or more intelligent than normal horses, to break out of the stable and to come with you as you sought a sage named Glitterdark, who you had heard was located to the south at a settlement called Glimmer Peak. And so the horse had smashed its way out of its stable using its very, very, very strong hind legs. When that crash happened, though, you guys seem to get lucky because you also heard the booming of the closing of the gates just to the west of you. The western gates have closed. The market day is also coming to an end. And so there's a bunch of chatter from everyone who's sort of closing down their markets. And it seems like the sound from the stable has been muffled somewhat. Your friend who was with you, the ghostly Snorri, has taken this opportunity to float through a nearby wall and disappear, basically, trying to get away from whatever altercation might be happening soon. Durak, you and Alaron are there. What would you like to do at this point?
How do people in the street reacting to this?
You can see, Alaron, that it looks like there hasn't been any reaction from the people on the street, but as you stick your head out, you do see that there are two dwarven stable hands who look like they're making their way towards your location. I'm going to take this moment just to reconnect because I think Finley might be having a problem.
Then he did.
Hi.
Hi, Finley. How are you?
I'm good. I'm here. Hello.
You are here. We were just talking about the stables
The stable,
and about what was going on in the stable. And Alaron had just stuck his head out to try and see who had noticed if anything was going on in the stables. You guys had gotten really lucky that the western gate had shut almost at the exact same moment that the horse kicked its way out of its stable. Your ghostly friend has gone through a wall and disappeared. You're not sure where he is. What are you doing, Durak?
I guess I'd like to. I'm hearing a ghostly echo.
Don't worry about it.
If Alan is looking to see who's noticed, I'd like to scout out the closest path either to cover or out of the town.
Sure. You get the sense that now that the western gate has closed, the eastern gate would probably be the quickest way out of town. You don't think it's closed yet. You haven't heard any booming or anything like that. But you do get the sense that you'll be pretty much out in the open unless you somehow smash your way out the back of this stable or escape through the back somehow, which would put you pretty squarely into the halfling district.
So I guess I'll turn to Callie here now?
Callie is not here, but let's talk about Callie and Rimpleton. Callie and Rimpy had been making their way from the halfling quarter, if you will, the halfling section of town, back towards where she had sort of remembered seeing her friends around this stable. And so, Callie, you and Rimpy were actually in the shadows of the stable door. So Alaron is very close to where you are now. And I think that you should make a stealth check, please, Callie.
Stealth check.
Alaron, why don't you make a perception check, please?
Got it.
Durak, why don't you make a perception check, please?
Got it.
16.
Nice.
20, non-natural.
Nice. Alaron, 6. Alaron, you do not see Callie or Rimpy, even though they are effectively almost directly under your nose. But Durak, you do see Callie. You do see Callie. However, I want to transition to Kerjak for a moment. Kerjak, you have been making your way to the stables after talking with orcish ghosts. They have told you some stories about the siege, and they also told you about a very famous orcish priest in town, the Skullbreaker. And so, you are trying to find your friends. The last place you saw them was the library, but they weren't at the library. So the last place you saw them before then was the stables. So you're returning to the stables, and you can see Alaron sticking his head out of one of the stable doors. And it looks like two dwarven stable hands are making their way towards him. It is nighttime, and though it is dark, there are a number of sort of torches, campfires, chimneys, lanterns, forges, hearths, and different things like that, just really lighting up the town. So it's not you can see pretty well, even though you could see in the dark fine since you're an orc.
Yeah.
What would you like to do, Kerjak?
Kerjak, no, last time. They don't like us in the stable, so Kerjak going to go intercept dwarves.
Awesome. So
They seem like very lost and bumbling. It's like, I don't know, where do I go sleep? I don't know where to go sleep. I'm new here. Do you speak common? Do you speak orc? You speak orc? Do you speak giant?
cool. You go to intercept these guys, and I think you should make a deception check, please,
Okay.
versus their insight.
So that is a 14.
Awesome. They are definitely taken in by your ruse, and they're sort of gruff. They are pretty rough and tumble stable hands. Their hands are really big and rough. It looks like that they have sort of like these wooden clubs at their sides, and also it looks like they have some whips that are also on their belts, like horse whips. And they're dressed in basically in like sort of leather armor, effectively. It looks like, or even just like like padded armor, maybe leather armor. And so their beards are full of mud and muck and stuff like that from all the horse troughs they've had to sort of clean out and all the horse stables they've had to muck out. And so they look at you with like these eyes that are like just not really having it. And they're like, out of the way. We don't have time for you, orc. Go find somewhere else to sleep.
Darn it.
What would you like to do, Kerjak?
Do we in this Alaron, since maybe I'm wondering if Alaron hears this.
He does. Alaron, you can see and hear this. Callie, you can see and hear this. Durak, you can hear the dwarves talking to someone outside. You realize there are some dwarves and you can sort of see them even. And you can even see Kerjak intercepting them. What you also see... What you also see is a extremely beautiful white mare in front of you that's sort of now sort of clopping around in a circle and sort of giving you side eye like trying to communicate something to you maybe.
Okay.
Didn't we? Okay, go ahead.
No, Durak, what are you doing?
I just wanted to know, like, whether. Never mind. Couldn't I also see Callie before?
You could, and you still can.
Oh, okay. But I'm gonna. So if I can see Callie, what I'd actually like to do is whisper to Callie, like.
She's pretty far away. She's about 30 feet.
Oh. Okay. All right. I don't know what I want to do then.
Okay, Alaron, what are you doing?
Of course. Do you know if there's another way out?
It does not clop at all. It sort of gives you the side eye.
No, you can understand that you could just nod or shake your head. Horses can do that.
It doesn't seem as if it knows what it needs to do, and it just sort of goes. Murr!
Alright, I'm gonna look for another exit.
There's an exit in front of you. You can, I guess, start to sort of search around the stables. You can see that they're like basically like a main sort of thoroughway, and then there are stables on either side of it. You can see that the building is an L shape, and so you are sort of on the horizontal, if you will, leg of the L. And so the vertical leg, if you will, is much longer than the leg you're in. You have to sort of go around to that corner. So you're going back inside and going to that corner, is that right?
Oh, well, I'm looking for one to come my way. What is it? 'Cause I don't know what it is. What is it? 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 What is it
what's going on outside?
Kerjak is trying to distract the dwarves from us. We need to go quickly.
Are there any other horses in the stable?
In fact, there are. There are a number of horses. The one closest to you looks like a bay horse. It has sort of a brownish color, but it has all black socks. And it has black hair and black tail.
Well, what I was thinking, what is the ground like where the dwarven guards are?
It's dirt.
Okay, so, not
The
safe.
dwarven stable hands are pushing their way past you, Kerjak. Is there anything you'd like to do?
Yes, Kerjak would like to grab one of them by the shoulder and be like, Kerjak really want nowhere sleep, Kerjak, please.
Cool. It sounds like you're trying to make a grapple check. Is that correct?
Sure.
Yeah.
Not really the aggressive, I want to hurt you.
Totally, but you're trying to stop them from moving forward, or at least one of them. Go ahead and make your strength check, your athletics check.
Oh, son of a... Another 14.
A 14 is a push. They also got a 14. So unfortunately, you are not able to stop him. He sort of shoulders you away, going, I don't care where you sleep. And the other one says something in Dwarven. Do you speak Dwarven, Kerjak?
Oh, God, no.
Alaron, I think you speak Dwarven. You hear the one say, something's wrong in there. You do the crash. We must investigate. And so they are obviously moving towards you, and it seems as if they have caught sight of you. It's like, hey, you there, elf. Callie, what are you doing?
I kind of see that Durak was maybe noticed me, but we were too far away, so I'm gonna send a little message spell.
There you
I'm
go.
over here. What are you guys doing?
We're trying to get out. Alaron, can we toss some hay out of a window and then just set it on fire or something? I don't want the horses to burn up. So I'm gonna pick up a hay bale because apparently the ground
You're gonna
dirt
set a fire here?
outside, not in here, just outside in the dirt.
So Alaron, you basically have turned away from the dwarves, and you're shouting to Durak, who's about 30 feet away from you.
No, how am I 30 feet away? I thought we were inside the same building.
You are, but Alaron moved to the door to look out, whereas you stayed by the stable where the horse is, which is about 30 feet away. So you are further in the stable than Alaron is. Alaron, what would you like to do? You're at the door.
I'm gonna take the horse with me and I'm gonna go around the corner.
Cool. So you rush back into basically where Durak is. You sort of have the horse follow you, and she does. She follows you to the corner. The dwarves are almost at the door where you are, Callie, but it doesn't look like they've noticed you. Kerjak, what are you doing?
Kerjak is very unsure what to do at this point because he doesn't want to hurt them, but they seem to be having none of his acting skills are subpar. He's just gonna try again.
To stop one of them from moving? Or
Yes, basically
Cool.
playing very much I'm a
Go-
overbearing lost tourist.
Yeah, go ahead and make your athletics check as you overbear one of them.
That is a 19.
19 is totally a success. You
Yes.
grab one, and he's like, hey, let me go, let me go.
Kerjak want nowhere sleep. Kerjak lost.
The other one,
Come from mountain.
he's like, I don't care where you're from. Get off me, you hayseed. And the other one gets to the door, is directly next to you, Callie, sees you, Durak, inside the stable with sort of a bale of hay in your hands, it sounds like, and sees the smashed stable, empty stable, and he says, what's going on here? Where? Horse thief! Horse thief!
I'm gonna cast
I'm
Charm
not a
Person
horse.
on him.
Cool. What is your charm person saving throw?
It is 12.
Cool. He rolls a 14, unfortunately. And so you reveal yourself as you cast the spell from the darkness, and that's when we're going to have to roll initiative, everyone.
Darn it. So much for a sneaky getaway.
Almost.
I was like, start a stampede.
Ha.
Well, Callie didn't know if these dwarves were mean to you guys or not, but they are.
13.
Well, I mean,
13 for Duroc. How about for you, Aileron?
9.
A 9. Very good. And for you, Kerjak?
13. Yes.
Duroc,
Yes, I have
Duroc, you and Kerjak both got 13. Figure out who's going first. Callie, what's yours?
10.
10.
Since you're grappling the person, do you want to go first? Or do you want to go by dex?
We can go by Dex.
Okay, I have it.
Darn it.
All right. Just figure out who's going first, you two.
Alright. Well, Kerjak will go.
Kerjak's going first. Very good.
Yay.
Kerjak, you go first. What would you like to do?
Oh, really?
Yes, really. He's holding you. He's like, let me go, you hayseed. Let me go.
Kerjak is just going to, like, keep on holding him and keeping him.
Awesome. Yeah, you continue to grapple him basically as you're sort of holding on to his shoulder and going, I need a place to sleep, man. No sleep. And he's basically looks like he's trying to reach for his club at this point. It looks like he's about to get a little bit more serious with you. Duroc, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
So I am going to, now that these guys are like on me, I'm gonna drop. Actually, I'm holding his bale of hay. Can I just kind of like shove it in his?
Hell yes, you can. He is 30 feet away from you. He's at the door. Are you moving to him or are you throwing this thing?
Yeah, I guess I'll kind of like go. Kind
Awesome.
of like try to like.
I think it's pretty easy to hit him with the hay bale. So I think you should make an athletics check because you're trying to effectively immobilize him.
Fantastic! This is gonna be great, you guys.
It'll go fantastic.
I rolled a 5.
Nice. He rolled a 14 or 12 rather.
So I can only imagine what it looks like that a 7.5 foot tall person.
Yeah, you attempt to just throw this hay bale on him to try and immobilize him, and he just ducks basically, and you miss as the hay bale sort of goes through the doors and sort of smashes outside, and hay goes everywhere. Hay goes over you, Callie and Rimpy. Hay is sort of hitting you, Kerjak, just the ends of it. Aileron, you're not there anymore, so you're fine. But Duroc, you're fine too. However, it's at that moment that you hear from outside the stables, outside where you are, a whickering of a war horse, like a as you hear kluk, 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 as this sort of like you hear the sounds of hooves approaching, very heavy hooves. It is the dwarves' turn. The one that is next to you, Duroc, will sort of get out his club and try and hit you with it, saying, "Horse thief! Ah!" And
No, stop it from screaming. Where would I put a horse?
it will be a 15 versus your armor class, my friend.
Ooh, that just hits.
Yes, and you will be taking 5 points of damage. This is non-lethal damage, so he's trying to knock you out. Although it is regular damage. If once you hit 0, you'll just be knocked out instead of bleeding or something like that. If he were to just, knock you out. But that's definitely what he has done. He's basically clocked you in the knee with his club, hoping that you will fall down, but you have not. So he's just sort of looking up and up and up and up at this really tall, sort of imposing in some ways, Furbolg. The other one is with you, Kerjak, and he also is trying to hit you with his club, hitting an armor class of 17, which will also be successful. He will do 6 points of non-lethal damage to you as he clonks you on the head. And he says, "Let me go!"
Aww.
It is Callie's turn. Callie, what would you like to do?
Like, go to sleep, and I'm gonna cast a sleep spell on these two guys.
Cool. You can definitely get the both of them, but to get the both of them, you would also have to get Kerjak or Duroc as well. Because
It's
of
okay, you can try to get Kerjak. I think.
Kerjak is trying to go to bed anyway, so.
True enough. Go ahead and roll your 5d8 as you cast Sleep.
7, 10, 18, 22, 24.
Cool. They both fall asleep. Bonk. They just fall down, and they're snoozing. Brr, brr. Alaron, what would you like to do? You have gotten to the corner. You turn the corner to look down it, and you can see that it looks like there is, in fact, another exit out that way. It exits onto the market square, just like the entrance you were just at, but it is a different exit. You also, yep, like I said, it's just basically stables lining the walls. Otherwise, the stables do have windows cut into them for the horses.
Okay.
And so the back wall faces onto the halfling sort of quarter, if you will.
I move towards the door and I go to open it.
Cool. The horse is moving with you. And yeah, that door had been closed, but you basically, your speed is 35, is that right?
I believe it's just whatever standard for elves, right?
Are you a high elf or a wood elf?
What elf?
Yeah, it would be 35 for you then. So yeah, the horse is definitely easily able to outpace you and get to the door before you do. You are able to make it to the door, and it looks to you as if actually looks to you as if there's a chain that's sort of going through it, and you think that there's a padlock outside.
I try to.
Smash it down.
Yeah, I'm not very strong, but I can try. Can I find something in this area that would help me smash through the door?
There's a shovel.
A shovel would be better than nothing.
There's also a horse next to you.
Hey, help me kick this door down.
Cool. You definitely have advantage on this roll as the horse tries to turn around, does turn around, and then gets ready to use her hind legs to try and smash the door down.
I got an 18.
18 is pretty good. I think you are able to smash this door open. And as you do, you see riding past you here's how can I describe this? You've seen him before. He is the horse master. He is a shirtless dwarf. He has a beautiful broad chest. He has amazing hair. He's beautiful. He commands horses. He's riding a war charger. Who knows what his name might be? Yeah, I'm sure he'll tell you, though, the first chance he gets. And you can see, Alaron, that this beautiful, statuesque, almost model-esque, like he belongs on some sort of romance novel cover. He has a horse whip on his belt. Remember, he's bare-chested, and he's sort of like a hairy chest. And he also has what looks to be a pretty vicious chain that is wrapped around his waist that he seems to be unbuckling. Like he has like this big belt buckle that has the chain, and he's unbuckling the belt so the chain can sort of whip free, as it were. And that's what you see as he sort of rides past you. Kerjak, it's your turn. You have a sleeping dwarf in your hands, but you hear the hoofbeats very close by, and you look behind you and see probably about 30 feet away, or 40 feet or so, that this dwarf that I mentioned. What would you like to do, Kerjak?
Lift this sleeping dwarf and dash into the. It's like dash into the.
Yeah.
Stables.
You dash into the stable with the sleeping dwarf. You have him in your hand. Easily, you see Callie. You move past her. You see Duroc. He's right in front of you. You have a sleeping dwarf. There's a sleeping dwarf in front of Duroc. What would you like to do?
In the closest thing of hay.
Nice. You gently,
And, like,
yes, you
put it
gently
down.
put him down in some hay. Very good. Very good. You have an action still. What would you like to do?
Be like, all right, let's go. Like, okay,
You,
where do we go?
Duroc, you saw Alaron move deeper into the stable but disappear from view with the horse. So the white mare is gone.
My horse friends? No.
There are a number of other horses here.
I am.
Kerjak is going to go and start opening all the stalls and try to get the horses to like dash out.
Cool. Are you trying to get them? You can open the stalls, but not get them to dash out at this point. Unfortunately, you are able to open 3 stalls though. The stall of the bay that I mentioned before, Durak, who has a brown coat and black hair, black tail, black socks. There's also a buckskin horse, which is a light sandy coat but has dark hair, black socks, and a black muzzle. And then there is actually a silver dapple horse as well, which has a dark gray coat and has blonde hair, a mane and tail. And so those 3 horses sort of come out. They all look to be riding horses. None of them seem to be war horses. They don't have saddles on or anything like that. Yeah, you're in front of the silver dapple one, Kerjak.
Kerjak is just sort of staring in awe, like.
Cool. Yeah, totally. Do you want to mount this horse?
Kerjak was more hoping to more like get them.
Sounds like a no. Sounds like a no. Very good. Durak, it is your turn.
I'm going to follow in Kerjak's lead, scoop up the sleeping snoozy dwarf.
Yes.
Bring him inside. And Kerjak and Kali, you guys were all right next to each other at this point.
Yep.
I'm like having a tough time. Okay, I guess I'm going to also. Can I, as I'm on my way in, can I sneak a peek at the what this horse lord, is he coming to get you, or is he just making a round?
Make an insight check, please.
That's what I was hoping.
Yeah, you definitely are looking out the stable doors. You sort of have to crouch down even a little bit to look out of them because you're so tall. But you do see this horsemaster upon his war charger. His war charger seems to be a brown horse, brown coat, brown tail, brown mane. But the mane has been cut really short, so it looks like a mohawk. And so, yeah, it's a really broad horse. It definitely has been obviously trained for combat. What is your insight check?
Non-natural 20.
Cool. Yeah, the horse master seems very concerned and seems cross, perturbed. His mellow is being harshed right now, and so he is resolved to unharsh the mellow.
Okay. I am going to turn to Kerjak and Kali, and say, get in a stall, and and you can.
Hello.
To hide in a stall. I'll try.
All right.
No.
She'll try. She'll try. She'll try.
This is a real tease.
It is such a tease. Yep, we can hear you. We heard you say that you want to get them in the stall. Anything else you want to do on your turn, Durak?
No, and then I want to cast Disguise Self. And with Furball magic, I can appear 3 feet up to quite a bit shorter.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make myself look like one of the guards.
Cool. So are you like a stable hand or a dwarven guard?
I think like a guard.
Dwarven guard. Very good. You do totally turn into a dwarven guard. Now your gear doesn't change with you, I don't believe, unfortunately. But you might want to confirm that. I could be totally wrong.
So, yes, including your clothes.
Awesome. Perfect. Then it totally does. And you look like a dwarven guard in scale mail with a helmet. You have your shield and your axe and your spear.
So, like, one of the people who was just coming to deal with us.
Those are not dwarven guards. Those were dwarven stable hands. Are you a stable hand or are you a guard?
I'll be a guard.
You're a guard. Awesome. Perfect. You're a guard. Yep, you totally turn into a guard. And the horse lord rolls up on you, and he's sort of like, his horse kicks up, and he's going, just kicking, its sort of stops on a dime and looks at you and sweeps his hair back, and he says, Fabianto Magnifico wishes to know what's going on here. Fabiante Magnifico is not pleased. Ale waits. And he's saying all this to you in Dwarven.
You don't speak Dwarven, do you?
Except the words Fabiante Magnifico, which you can obviously understand.
So I will bow very deep and say, Fabiante Magnifico.
Awesome. Awesome.
And then I'll say like, and then I'm gonna go like, oh look over there, and like kind of mumble and like run in that direction because we all heard that loud noise.
In the direction, what direction are you running in? In the direction of the what?
Well, if I run.
Well, unfortunately, it's not Durak's turn to run, so that's okay. It's not Durak's turn to run right now, but Durak, you are sort of pointing a bit, and I think a deception check would be appropriate at this point. Yes. What'd you get?
What's a 3 get me?
And he looks at you very suspiciously and says, "What's your name?" In Dwarven.
Do I understand Dwarven?
Yes, he's saying all this in Dwarven. You can make an insight check, maybe.
Maybe.
We'll give you that.
I mean, I think
You're
language,
yeah
my strong
you're disadvantaged. I'd say you're disadvantaged on this.
No, it has to be on the table. Okay. Ooh, it's still got a 19 though.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Cool. You definitely get the sense that he's asking you your name. But like that's a como se dice, right? Like sort of you get it.
I'm like, okay.
Mi nombre es, you know.
Dara Greybeard.
Nice. You say that. Dara Greybeard. Very good. Love it. Cool. Callie, what are you doing?
So, is Fabiante in the stables with us right now?
He is at the door, effectively. Where you're on the inside. You and Kerjak are sort of on the inside. He hasn't maybe seen you guys just yet because Durak is sort of blocking that door. You could close the door. It's double. There are double doors basically, and it looks like there's holes in each. It looks like where one would put a chain through probably, and then put a padlock through, so the doors couldn't be opened after a while when the stable is closed. And so, yes, you can close the door, but you will be basically closing it into Durak's back, or at least closing it next to him, so he's really just right in the doorway.
Oh, so he'd be like outside, basically.
Sort of. It's a double door, so he'd be half outside.
I just imagine like me standing there, like a door, just no reason.
I'm gonna summon a mage hand, and I can do this from a distance because of my little tricks I've learned.
Yeah, you sure
I'm
can.
going to slap his horse's butt really hard.
Ooh, I love it. It is a warhorse. Warhorses have good concentration. But let's see what this warhorse's concentration does for it. I roll not enough. The warhorse takes off, basically. Durak, you need to make a dexterity saving throw, my friend.
Yikes.
Excuse me. I take that back. You need to make a strength saving throw, not a dexterity saving throw. Strength saving throw.
How about a 16?
16's quite good. As the horse smashes into you, but you're strong enough to not be knocked over, but you're bowled out of the way, basically. So the horse rushes in, and he sees all of you now. He sees you, Kerjak. He sees you, Callie. He obviously sees you, Durak. He sees the horses milling around, and he yells now in common, "What's this? Horse thieves!" And
I'm too small to fit on a horse.
it is your turn still, Callie. That was technically a bonus action, I think, for you.
Yeah, it is. So I'm gonna like cartwheel out in front of him and be like, "We're not trying to steal your horses. We don't even like horses."
Okay, make a deception check.
I mean, I'm not trying to. I got a 7.
A 7. He says, "Damn you, halfling, you and your kind. Always up to tricks. Always stealing things. You will go to jail for this. Mark my words. Mark the words of Fabiante Magnifico." And he sort of whips his hair back and sort of loosens his horsewhip. Alaron, it is your turn. You are at the other entrance with the white mare. You guys can basically see your way clear now. Yeah, you're looking out at the market. But you obviously hear the commotion at the door off to your right. You saw Fabiante, Magnifico go in, basically go in, and you hear a commotion from over there.
I look at the. Can you make your way to the east gate by yourself?
She nods.
We will meet you there. They provide the distraction. Hopefully, we will be there soon.
She nods and starts to clip clop over that way. Not just like walk, not even run. Just like a super chill, nonchalant walk. Stop for a second, eat some grass, keep walking. Like very, very low key.
And with the rest of my turn, I'm going to go into the stable.
Are you going back the way you came, or across the outside to the door that the dwarf went through?
I'm going to go into the entrance that they're by.
Cool. So you effectively are easily able to reach that doorway, and you have an action left as well.
Has anyone noticed my presence?
No. You're sort of coming up on this commotion. The dwarf just rode in, or was forced to ride in, had to throw his head down so he wasn't like knocked off his steed by going in, because the doorway is a little lower, not meant for riders really to go in. He muscled past this dwarf guard who's in there now, apparently, who you don't recognize, but he does have a familiar red beard, perhaps. So there's a dwarf guard in there now that wasn't in there before. And you definitely see Callie doing cartwheels and talking smack, and Kerjak staring at a horse very lovingly.
Oh boy.
That's a very good description of what's going on.
Thanks.
I look to the guy on the horse.
Yeah. You've heard him call himself Fabiante Magnifico, the horse master.
I exaggeratively bow and say, "Fabiante, I've heard your name before, but there is a mistake here. My friends are guilty of the only crime my friends are guilty of are being inept."
He says, "Inept horse thieves! I see the evidence in front of me. You've destroyed this stable and stolen the horse. The white mare, where is she?"
Let me explain what happened. While we were here, are you giving me time to explain
Yep.
this? Okay. While we were here bruising your horses, we noticed that the white mare was troubled and broke. We saw her break through and leave. And then in the commotion, she knocked around the other gates as well.
Make a... that was going to be a persuasion check, but now it seems like a deception check to me. So go ahead and make a deception check, please.
Ooh, yeah. That's 20.
Are you speaking to him in common or in Dwarven?
Dwarven.
Dwarven. Awesome. He sort of has his horse whip out, and he looks around at all of you, and he says, "If you didn't steal my horse, why did you attack my stable hands?"
I didn't. My friends here, as I said, are inept but powerful, and they have abilities that most men do not, but they do not quite know how to control them in cities. They're not city folk.
Cool. Make a intimidation check, please.
3.
Awesome. Kerjak, it's your turn. The horse master looks around and says, "They don't seem that tough to me."
Kerjak just sort of straightens up a little and just kind of like going from lovingly looking at the horse and just turns to look at the Fabiante.
Exactly.
Just gives him sort of this withering gaze of, "I am I'm an orc and I'm a blood spear orc. That look like really?
Right. He has his horse whip out. He's on his war charger. He has his other. Yep, and he's definitely staring back at you.
And Kerjak kind of turns and searches away, like so that his weapon is seen, but like, yeah, no, I'm like basically trying to intimidate. Like, oh no, he's telling the truth.
Oh, so you start like growling, sort of thing. Is that what's going on?
Yes, kind of let out the inner blood spear orcness.
Yeah. Go ahead and make your intimidation check.
Closed doors. That's a 20.
A 20? Did you crit it or did you crit?
That's a crit.
Yeah! Burn, 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 burn. And his face just his face just drains. His face just drains of blood, and he seems to definitely be now taking a look at your huge sword and looking at Aileron's weapons and looking at Callie, though sort of dismissively. He looks at Dara Greybeard though and says, "Dara, arrest them! Arrest them! They're horse thieves!"
Say, I guess I'll say it in giant.
Okay.
Sorry, sir. I actually can't do that. Not that I understood what he said anyway. Actually, I'll say to him in giant.
Well, he was talking in common. Sorry, this time.
Okay, sorry, I can't do that. And then I'm going to cancel my disguise since gigs up on this. I am not Trixie that way. And so where before there was a short person, there's now my eyes like rise to be level with
Yeah.
eyes on the horse, and then go a little bit farther.
His face gets a little bit paler as he blanches even more at the power of this group being displayed.
Lean forward and say, "It's true what they say about our powers," and he's gonna feel his armor getting a little toasty.
So, just to let you know, he is currently, yes, he is, as a matter of fact, wearing studded leather armor. So it's not metal. There is some studs on it, though. He has a chain. He has a chain around his waist, though.
And he started unwrapping.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
I knew there was something. Yeah, so
Yes.
I'm like, so I'll be like, I wouldn't
Cool.
do that if I were you.
You cast heat metal on his chain. Awesome. Are you doing anything else?
Besides, like, kind of looming.
Are you
menacingly.
cool? Totally. So he can hang on to the chain and take damage. Is that right?
Yeah.
He lets the chain go. He says, my beautiful hands. No. and he has his horse whip out, and he sort of whips it in front of you guys like you're like a lion tamer, though he's not attacking you exactly. He's like, back, get out of my stable, get out of here.
He does actually take 5 damage.
Oh, he does.
For what it's worth.
Yes, so he takes 5 damage and then drops it.
So he's like smoking.
Yeah. My hand! Cool. Yeah, that's definitely what's going on. He's whipping basically at you guys. He is a quote unquote taking the dodge action. It is your turn, Callie.
Well, he said to leave, so I will start to walk towards the door. But one question: during my time spent hanging out with sort of the semi-underworld of this city, did I learn of anybody who might be connected to this guy?
No. You were learning more about halflings and the Twift River clan. The Twift River clan. The Twift River clan.
The Twiftwiver clan.
Yes, the Twift River clan.
Well, so there's... I say we just leave. He doesn't want us here. Fine. So I'm gonna be like, never buying a horse from you, and I'm gonna walk...
He says, "You're not welcome in this stable to buy horses. Get out! Get out!
Sounds bad in here anyway.
You smell bad." Cool. Yeah, you totally just sort of vamoose, Callie, as you're out the door with Rimpy, Alaron basically is right next to you. You guys are outside the stable. Kerjak and Durak, you're both still inside. Alaron, it's your turn. Would you like to do anything?
I just back away.
Yeah, you're back. He continues to sort of whip his horse whip at you, saying, "Back! Get out of my stable!"
I apologize, and I leave.
Oh, okay. You apologize? All right, well, make a persuasion check.
14.
Okay. Yeah, he sort of stops whipping, and he says, You have honor, elf. Unlike these others, tricksters and orcs. I will report this, but we will see what happens.
I'm behind Alaron, silently mimicking what he's saying with like overly.
Yeah. I love it. Kerjak. It's Kerjak's turn. Kerjak's turn.
Oh, Gerjak turns to look at the horse that he's been noodling at and sort of reaches out and he's like, Kerjak have to go. Bye bye.
The horse sort of nuzzles your hand.
Like, you have strong horse. Yes. Bye bye. And Kerjak leaves.
It does not respond in any way, shape, or form. It is a dumb animal.
Oh, no. This is to the guy.
Oh yeah, same difference. And so, and Durak, the last person left now in the stables, besides the horses and the horse master.
Y'all a bunch of flat levers. So I'm gonna turn to the horse that he's. Actually, no, I'm gonna turn to all the horses.
Yep.
And just be like, I've like spoken like 8 languages, which is very exciting. Like, before I go, I just want to know from you folks. Please tell me honestly. Does this man treat you well?
Make an animal handling or make an insight check.
Oh, sorry, that's a D8 that I just rolled.
Yeah, that's totally cool.
Ooh, that is a natural 1.
Awesome. These horses seem to be giving you the cold shoulder.
Well, you know what? We don't have a word for it in Furball because we're nice people. We
Yeah.
were brought up well, but fuck this whole town.
They seem to be totally ignoring you.
Listen, you guys deserve each other. That's what I have to say.
And you leave, I take it.
I'm done.
We're out of initiative. You four are outside the stables now. The west gate is closed. The market is shutting down. It's after dark. It seems as if Hammerfast is sort of going to sleep, as it were. Many of the dwarves who live actually in the city, further in the city, are heading that way. Those from the Hall of Justice, or from any number of other sort of things here. The hall where you have to pay taxes, as it were, and different things like that. They're sort of heading home. Whereas the halfling quarter seems to be livening up. People are heading that way, especially merchants and visitors. They seem to be heading more towards the halfling ward, as it were. What are you four doing?
I'm looking for horse tracks.
There are so many here. You're right in front of the stables.
I'm going to go in the direction towards the gate and see if I can find horse tracks.
We said that we would meet at. Well, we have to get out of town. Alaron, where's the horse?
The horse got out of town.
So, need to go east gate.
Yes, I told them we'd find it.
Okay. Oh, is where Drag Human is.
What?
Drag Human. The one is, I think they call Jack Donkey. He's a Jack Donkey, yes.
Does this sound familiar? What getting at?
You all remember the rumors you heard about Trag, the guard captain at the East Gate, and why the East Gate is not used as frequently as the West Gate. Because Trag is an asshole.
Jack Donkey.
Jack Donkey, as it were. Sort of like a Jack Dice, but a Jack Donkey.
Got it. You're insulting him.
And so your group is sort of heading towards the East Gate, is what it sounds like to me. And oddly enough, as you get to the east gate, you can see there are about a half dozen dwarven guards there. They are more lackadaisically sort of, looks like they're starting to get ready to close the gate for the night, just as the last of the sort of the visitors to Hammerfast have arrived as the sun has gone down. You also see their leader, a human who is dressed exactly like they are, scale mail, a helm, shield. He actually has a warhammer and a silver. Actually, it's not a silver lance. He actually has a bronze lance. And so with his bronze lance, he seems to be holding that in one hand, and in the other hand, he seems to be holding the hair of a white mare that he is apparently interacting with. And that is where we're going to end for tonight. Yay!
Of course, oh my
Man, that was a shit show.
Fabiante was very magnifico.
Fabiante was Magnifico. Thanks you guys all so much for playing. I really appreciate it. Thank you, viewers. If you're watching us on YouTube, we love you. And look for more episodes from us for Secrets of Hammerfast. I was your DM, Burling's Beard, Ken Breeze. You can find me on my website, BERLINGS Beard, or just read anything that this is posted on. That would help too, I guess. Finley, Duroc, thank you so much for playing. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at infernal_glow for a mix of DM and politics and cute doggos.
Love cute doggos. And Callie, Kelsey, where can people find you?
TheArcaneLibrary.com or the same name on the DM's Guild where I just published an adventure.
Oh yeah, congratulations. That's great. What's the name of the adventure?
It's called The Secrets of Skyhorn Lighthouse.
Awesome. So many secrets, you guys, to uncover. So many secrets. So many secrets.
Many eels.
So many eels. Spoilers. 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 And Kerjak, Anastasia, thank you so much for playing. Where can we find you if we're looking for more of what you're doing?
Me?
Nowhere.
Nowhere. The darknet.
You're in the nega zone.
Deadnet.
Love it, love it. You are well. We can only find you here then, and we're very happy. This is the place to find Anastasia, everyone. So you're welcome. And last but not least, Alaron Anthony. Where can we find you, buddy?
You can find me at anthonylelo.com.
Awesome, cool. Well, thanks again, everybody, for playing. This has been our awesome 4th episode, and we'll look forward to our 5th episode next week. All right, everybody. Good night. We'll see you later. Bye 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 bye. And we should be out.